Hello, everybody. I think we're waiting for some to connect to audio.
All right. Now.
Now,
No? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. I'm having issues with, I moved offices and everything is here. I'm going to take this. Actually, I'm just going to continue to take this off.
That's okay. Last week, my internet was broken. Like my computer wouldn't work, and earlier in the week, and then later, my internet just kept kicking me off. I don't know. I knew it was a 3-day weekend coming up.
Right. So just keep on keeping on. I'm going to review why is this doing this? Okay. I'm going to review our spreadsheet. So in case anyone has questions, I know what I'm referring to.
And I think we'll get started. I am sure it looks like Joseph's still trying to connect to audio. Maybe he's having issues with internet like I was. Also, Dave, it looks like Ron is joining us, which he is welcome to do. Hey, Ron. Hey, you are welcome to join us. However, this is mostly for coaches, so you're welcome to hang out.
Very good. Did Dave get on yet? He's having problems getting on.
Yeah, he's over here. I see him.
Very good. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, bye.
We have awesome supervisors. I love all of our supervisors. Okay, I'm going to get started. We are recording for those of us who can't make it today. And I'm going to share my screen a little bit, and we're going to do things a little backwards today because I made a mistake with Carolyn, who has been helping us with evaluation and the data tracking. And I told her the wrong day, or I scheduled this for the day that she did not say she could attend. So I apologize to everybody for that, but we're going to do things slightly backwards today. Usually we like to jump in with connections, but we'll do that after we give some time for Carolyn to be here with us to answer questions or go through some stuff. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is our monthly webinar. So today we're going to talk a little bit about data tracking and evaluation. We're going to do some connections, and then we're going to have some announcements. So normally we would not jump into the content right away, like I said, but we are going to today. And given what we have to discuss today, likely this will not last an hour and a half, which will likely make everybody super excited to have some time back. So I just wanted to give us some reminders because this is our first time tracking some of this data. We're tracking the following data, and everybody should have completed their monthly report last week. If not, it should be tried to take care of that today. So we are tracking student interactions, and that includes the instrumental, psychosocial, and academic support interactions, duplicated student interactions, and unduplicated. So duplicated is if David comes in 5 times, that's counted as five people or 5 interactions. Unduplicated is David comes in 5 times in a month, but we only count it once. So I have to remind myself of that every time. And then we're also tracking, which is new for returners, the number of resources developed for instrumental, psychosocial, and academic supports, and then the number of marketing materials developed for our students or for our campuses. And I sent this out to as an email, but I wanted to discuss it today and have it out there because these were questions that came up in our in-person training and after the training. So do emails or group texts count as creating marketing materials? Yes, if that's the main mode of getting the material out to your students or one of the modes, then yes, we should count those as marketing materials. Do coaches need to record individual students for group sessions or events on the spreadsheet? And if so, how should it be tracked? The answer is yes. Use a sign-in sheet to track attendance or your campus's way to track things. I know Bellarmine has a swipe system, so if you're able to do that, you can track that way as well. And then how do, give me 1 second. Okay. How do coaches record interactions with students if they're hosting a table in an event? This can be especially useful in the beginning of a school year where you might have like big tables or all the different groups on campus set up to show or highlight what's going on campus. So how do you do that? How do you track that? And especially if it's difficult to get people to sign in. So you can record this as a guesstimation, record the number of materials disseminating. And this is super smart, Carolyn. I don't know why I didn't think of this, because this is what we used to do when I worked at Center, is to track the number of things you hand out. So if you know that you printed out 500 flyers and you have 100 left, then you know that you have given out 400, right? Or any other materials, or I don't know, we used to give out bags, or I don't know, bananas, whatever it is that you're giving out. Know how many that you start with and how many you end with, to guess how many you've interacted with. So that's my quick rundown. I want to pause, since Carolyn's here, and let you guys give feedback about how this worked for you. Any ideas or tricks that you came up with to help you, right? So we talked a little bit about a trick to count the unduplicated names, right? What we decided, Carolyn, what was one of the easiest was to copy and paste the list of students, stick them on a different tab, and then alphabetize it. So then you could just go through, but maybe there was a different way. Also, if there's any confusion, so there are lots of questions here. A, feedback. B, did you come up with any tricks that worked really well for you? And C, is there any confusion still, or a situation that came up and you didn't know how to approach it with how we're tracking the data? So I will leave that for you all. And sorry, I didn't introduce Carolyn. I apologize. By flipping it around, I jumped into the content. I forget. So Carolyn Oldham is the person at UK helping us with our evaluation efforts, and then trying to figure out what data points we need to be able to track to be able to evaluate our program and the effectiveness of our program. So I don't know, Carolyn, I don't know, while everybody's thinking of their things, if you want to say anything.
No, all I want to say is that really the way that our evaluation center approaches evaluation is that it should be really user focused and really useful. So, whenever you do something new, it's always a little bit trying. But also, so there's some growing pains, but then there also might just be where this is just a pain and it's not working, right? So I think that, the first month, 2 months, talking about it from the growing pains perspective and seeing what can work and sharing best practices with one another is a good idea. And then if we get to like mid-semester and we say, this is just not going to happen, it's too difficult, it's taking too much time, then we can regroup and talk about a way forward. So this is all, we're building it this first year, a new way of looking at the program and a new way of tracking data. And again, it's supposed to be user-friendly and to inform decision-making. And also hopefully to show the people that help fund, what we're doing here, what we're doing, and to show that we're great stewards of the funds that they're giving us. Everyone's being shy.
I know. Well, we didn't get to introduce ourselves. We have a couple new people on the call, and
I'm sorry, you guys.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so I got to do kind of a real life test run of the trying to catch people in an event that's pretty ebb and flow. People are moving around, constantly busy. At a Spirit Day earlier this month, I wound up not being able to catch very many names. So I wound up just doing student 1, student 2, student 3. So hopefully other people will find that's still pretty easy. I basically wound up doing like a tally mark system because I grabbed a piece of paper because we have little pamphlets that are promotional material that James prepared. So I use those as our, like, a little piece of paper for me to write down. This is how many people I have given this flyer to. And I counted it as informational, I think is what it was called again.
Instrumental.
Yeah, instrumental. Sorry.
Mhm,
Thank you.
that's great.
I used that. And then afterwards, I tried to make sure to go ahead and go into my Excel so I didn't forget. It took me about 5-10 minutes max.
Okay.
So it's a pretty useful system, at least to me.
Okay. Good. I think the other thing I would say too is that that's fantastic that you're able to sit down and tally. At some events, it's so big, right? And so just thinking of it in terms of outreach, if you can kind of look at the room, maybe you have an idea of what the attendance is at this event, and then maybe you say to yourself, I think I spoke to maybe 25% of the people here. Then just deduce it that way. That's fine too. If you can record it, that's great. If you can't, that's fine. Again, we're just trying to do our best. Again, those connections that you're making with people are more important than you being like, wait, I need to tally this, or this person took this. So just do your best. It's fine. Fantastic, though. I'm glad it worked for you.
I tried to make sure that I did it in between, like in the low tide moments.
Sure.
Because
okay, good.
I would just kind of keep the running tally in the back of my head. And mainly because I was so busy talking to people.
Right.
Most of the time, that I would just try and remind myself, hey, you need to tell yourself to set aside like a couple of minutes to remember, and then go back at it and keep at it.
Good. So we just don't want it to be a source of like a lot of stress. So that's what I mean. As long as you find a way that works for you, that you feel like you can record a guesstimation at the outreach events, then I think that's perfect.
Anybody else have any feedback, questions, things that worked really well for them, things that didn't work well? We're a very quiet group today.
It's because of me. I'm going to take it personal.
That's because I said if we might get through this quickly. So everybody's like, okay, no questions.
This is the snooze portion. Anytime the word evaluation comes up.
I know. It's really important though. So I know that we discussed this in the in-person, and I tried to make it clear if you've missed the in-person why we're doing this, but it really does help us continue this program and also to improve it, right? So we think we think you're all doing an awesome job. We think that you're also affecting student graduation and persistence at your campuses and supporting them. But there are times where we need to prove that's the case, right? And for this program in particular, we've never proven it. We've never tracked any of this data and figured out what the common denominators are at the different campuses to be able to track it. And so for us to be able to do some of the official reporting that we have to do with AmeriCorps, that's important, but also what's important is making sure that this program, the structure of it, is the structure we want and need. And then it might also, we can use this information to share with other schools that might not be participating, or the schools that are investing in having you on campus to let them know what difference you're making. So yeah, we really appreciate that. One of the things that I hope to do that I wasn't able to do because of timing of when September 1st was and when the report was due, is I'd like to I'll send out an email with kind of some initial data points, just so you can see what you're doing across the school. So I hope to do that this week sometime. Well, are you sure? No questions, comments?
So for me, I would say with Bellarmine's swiper system, it definitely helped out a lot, especially with our involvement fair, because that's where I talked to like the most students. So if your school has access to swipers and computers or have a system where you can like keep track of student IDs easily like that, I highly recommend. It makes it super, super easy, and you can spend more time just like getting to know a person rather than being like, what's your name? What's your student ID? What's your email? Just like that kind of thing. Cause people don't really want to do that. And then one thing that it worked, but it wasn't very it worked, but it didn't work at the same time. Is that me and Jensen both had an event where we were wrangling 700 first year students and sending them out to do volunteer work out in the community. And we used like physical class attendance sheets that we like collected at the end. And it was fine. It just took a lot of time to go through them all. And we didn't have swipers at that event. So highly recommend swipers if you have access to them. But if that didn't work, we also had like the resource fair where the offices could go out and tell people about their office. I just like was like, what's your name? Like, do you like it here on campus? Where like are you living in the dorms, or like just getting to know them, but also like subtly getting their information so I can remember it later. And then just grabbing my phone and putting it in the notes app and then going back to my computer later and putting it in then. But that's what helped me.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
One question I have, because some of the sample, like we did sample questions like scenarios to practice, like is this instrumental or psychosocial? Are you finding that your interactions, I mean, maybe not at the resource fairs or things like that, right? That's pretty straightforward, but your one-on-one interactions, are you finding that you're covering more than just one kind of support? Carolyn, that was one thing that we had a lot of conversations about, is like,
Sure.
there are times where you're not just giving a resource, or you're not just providing some emotional support or something like that. So is that the case for most of you that you're finding, or have you not had a chance to do a lot of one-on-one work with students yet?
I think it's been nice because the students have kind of like guided it. Like I noticed when I will talk to them that they'll like kind of, especially if it's a one-on-one, like I'll try to like facilitate the conversation, but they'll kind of move in the way. Like I let them decide whether like this is a meeting where they want support or where they need like resources or where they need like academic help. So I found like someone coming in and talking to me about her weekend and telling me like how stressed she was about a certain class. And then she was like, do you think I should drop this class or like take, so it turned from like psychosocial to like academic. So it was like good to like it, but I think like learning about them in the beginning really helped me like get a good feel of like where the conversation's going and like kind of like checking the boxes in my head.
Oh, that's an interesting kind of side effect that I hadn't thought of, that it might help guide your conversations. As like having this framework in your head might help support your conversations instead of the opposite way, instead of just recording, but thinking about what they might need. Right. Thank you, Jensen.
It does provide some structure, especially considering when you're talking to a student, you kind of need to think like that anyway. So it's sort of natural. I've only really gotten to do one-on-one this so far, just because the semester's just starting. I'll probably start seeing some more in a little while, maybe. But my first one-on-one wasn't even in person. It was via text message. We have Signal Line. Like I've told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the student really needed to withdraw.
Oh.
They were in a really rough situation. They'd been injured before the semester started. And then that compounded on the fact that they were working and a whole bunch of other things. They needed that comfort. They needed to talk it out and explain that they just needed out. And then I helped provide them with information. And then I also worked with our learning space, which is basically our tutoring center. They have a coaching contingent that assists as well. So I was resource networking with them, and then we escalated accordingly. Because at first I was trying to see if I couldn't help him just drop one class, and then he prioritized just one. But he felt like it was too much. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things. But I think it works well.
great. Jericho, you just joined us. Carolyn Oldham is here with, she's helping us with the evaluation and the data tracking. And so we're just kind of sharing any struggles we had or any wins, things, tricks that worked well, or if there are any lingering questions after filling out the monthly report. So we are going to let Carolyn go in a minute because it doesn't sound like a lot of people have a lot of questions or anything, but if there's anything you want to throw out there, she's our guide and guru. I assume since you're not unmuting that you don't have anything. Did you have any questions that came up? No. Great. Well, I want to like do a going once, going twice if anybody has anything, and then we'll let Carolyn go. Or if Carolyn has anything to say in closing about this.
I apologize. We have furniture being moved outside at my office. So, well, I just want to give you all applause for the great work that you're doing and for supporting the new system. And again, let's make sure that we touch base in a few months. And if things are just really not working out, then that's part of what my duty is and what Mindy's duty is as well, is to pivot and figure out what systems we can put in place to get the information that we need. So thank you all for supporting it so far. And I'm excited. Hopefully Mindy will include me on the reports because I'm excited to see what you all are doing. And hopefully all of you had a shortened week. So happy 4-day week. Thanks for having me. Bye.
I know for a fact that Caitlin did not have a 4-day week because it is a 5-day. It's Center has classes on Labor Day. Does anybody else have classes on Labor Day? No. This is only my second year ever as a professional having Labor Day off. Marcia, were you going to say something? I didn't know. Okay. Oh, Caitlin took a half day. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to go. Normally, we would not start like that. Normally, we would get to know each other a little bit. We do have a couple of newer faces in here, so I wanted to make sure that we get to know each other. So we are going to try something a little bit new. We are going to connect, but we're going to spend a little bit of time drawing. And then we're going to talk about it. So we're going to use the Zoom whiteboard. I don't know if any of you have used that before. Give me 1 second while I open it. So you should have access to the whiteboard. Do you all see it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes. So I want you to draw your mood. And be as creative or uncreative as you'd like, but draw your mood, find a space. And I'll give everybody a few minutes to do this. Okay, I'm going to give everybody one more minute to finish up. And if you get a chance, if you'd like to, type your name below your picture. That way we can see who belongs to what. Okay, you can continue going, but what I'd like to do, especially because we have a couple of newer people on the call, is that we're going to take turns unmuting. Say your name, what school you're at, and then maybe if you want to say a word or two about your mood. I love the drawings. Lenore, I especially like the coffee mug. I'll start. I'm Mindy. I am a terrible drawer. Apparently, I look like I'm crazy. My hair is not supposed to look crazy like that. I'm just a little tired. I have 2 teenagers, and while we had fun this weekend, it's just school started, center started. My husband's a professor there, and so the end of August and beginning of September are just tiring times for us. So yeah. I'm going to go, I'll call people out, Jensen, Ella, and David.
My name's Jensen. My mood is I'm happy, but my mind's a little jumbled. I think also coming from that 3-day weekend. I went home, so that was nice, but now I'm back and I have a lot to do all at once.
All I can see on yours are eyeballs, Jensen. Is that on purpose?
No, my Wi-Fi is really bad, so
okay.
I think half of it. It's supposed to be like a person with a thought bubble that's just nothing in it, or
Okay.
jumbled.
Excellent. Okay, Ella, David, and Sam.
I'm Ella. My mood is pretty similar to Jensen's. Like she said, I'm happy, but a little bit, a little bit, I guess just needing to get back into focus and also just not really knowing what to draw or what my mood is. So that's why I'm upside down and I have some question marks. But nice to meet you.
Yeah, I think 3-day weekends always do that. I love 3-day weekends, but I always come back feeling like, feel kind of greedy, like I want the rest of the week. Like if I'm going to have one day off, I might as well just take all the rest of the days off, right? But that is not how life works, unfortunately. David, Sam, and then Dave.
Well, I'm David, and mine is supposed to be, I use a reference for the like tired emoji because I am exhausted. I wound up having to stay up late a couple nights this weekend, and it's family stuff. And my birthday was this weekend, so while I'm happy, I'm definitely still a little sleepy, and I'll probably have to warm up over the course of the day. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
I thought you were drawing Oscar the Grouch. I was really
just like green.
curious about yours.
I just like green.
Okay.
That's it.
And happy birthday.
But thank you. 25 years and still kicking.
Excellent. Sam, Dave, and Lily.
Yeah, I did mine. I'm feeling like a little like meh, bleh. I know like right now I'm feeling a little under the weather, hence why I'm at home instead of I'm at Bellarmine also. Yeah, balancing work and some other things in my life, but I'm chilling.
Well, I'm like a villain.
Yeah,
Excellent. Well, I hope you start feeling better soon.
thank you.
Dave, Lily, and Jericho.
Good morning, everyone. I think this guy down here is a summation of what everybody else is saying and feeling. This is my brain kind of steaming this morning, trying to get back to work. But like Mindy said, I'm home, playing with my dog, and I'm anxious. I'm glad this is a short week, so that's a plus. But yeah, it's just pretty much the same as everybody else is saying. Got a lot of stuff happening, don't we? I think that's it.
Thanks, Dave. Lily, Jericho, then Lenora.
Good morning. My name's Lily. I'm at Bellarmine. I drew the star face yellow guy as like the emoji, because that's my favorite emoji and I use it all the time. I had a really great 3-day weekend. I went out of town to Red River Gorge and camped and hiked, and that's like my happy place. Like that's where I can like actually recharge. And so I just came back super relaxed and well rested and recharged and ready for whatever is next now that the first 2 weeks of school are done and we're kind of settling into things. And then I just found the stamp tool and added clouds and stars. That's all.
I love it. I love the enthusiasm you have for life. We need to borrow some of Lily's energy for this week, or some of us do, I think. Jericho, Lenora, and
coffee.
then people are moving around. Hold on. Caitlin.
So my turn? Okay. So I got my eyes closed because I hadn't had my coffee yet, but I'm smiling because now I'm turning awake. I'm getting a little espresso in me. And I walked into work this morning having a math appointment. So I'm happy now because my math is taking effect and or my coffee's taking effect and I'm doing math. So that equals a good time over here.
Thanks, Lenora. How many, let's see a raise of hands, or you can do your fake hands if your camera isn't on. How many people get excited about math in the morning?
Can I put both my hands up?
Yeah. I like math.
No, oh
I'll,
man,
I'll put my hand up. I won't put both hands up.
y'all breaking my heart.
Oh, Marcia loves math too. I
Yeah.
used to do math to keep myself awake on my drives home from college. Like, I don't know, I'd come up weird math problems in my head to keep my brain thinking. So, but I don't do it as much anymore.
I like to do math on a Saturday night. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get excited.
Okay, Jericho, Caitlin, and then Joseph.
Sorry. Hey, I'm Jericho. I'm at Kentucky Wesleyan College, and my mood is I'm very tired. I had a long weekend. I was trying to draw a kayak because I went kayaking with my cousin yesterday for like 7 hours. So I'm tired, and my arms are tired from paddling so much.
Wow, it sounds like we have an outdoorsy group here. How many people that like to be outdoors? Like do outdoors thing? I like Lily's saying it's recharge space. That's for me too. Yeah. Excellent. That's exciting. I went to a small hike. It was like a flat hike. But we have a wildlife refuge near our house. So I took my kids out there. We went fossil hunting. So outside
Oh, that's fun.
is my recharge space too.
Oh yeah, it's fun and relaxing too. If you've
Yeah.
never been, I would definitely recommend it.
We'll have to, one of our in-person trainings, we'll have to go do a hike or I don't know if we'll have boats available to us, but try to figure out something where we're outside doing something.
Right, that'd be fun.
Oh, and Ella went on a hiking trip to Michigan. Wow. I always think Michigan's further away than it is. It's actually not that super far away, right? That's awesome. Okay, Caitlin, Joseph, and then Marcia. And if you are not able to unmute, I know that a couple of you have let me know that you're in funny situations where you're listening. So let me know if you can't. Caitlin, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
One second.
There you are. We can hear you now.
Sorry, I had to unplug from my monitor. Hi, everybody. My name's Caitlin. I'm at Center College, and I drew this makeshift like smiley face that looks kind of hopeful, hopefully. We actually didn't like our office didn't have a weekend this weekend because we were at a retreat. So this is like we're getting back into the groove of things of just like a regular like schedule for us. So that's why I'm hopeful, just like ready to get back on task and like in a schedule. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Joseph, and then Marcia's let me know that she's not able to unmute right now. She's listening in, but she won't be able to talk. So Joseph, you're our last one.
Hi, I'm Joseph Myers. I just drew a simple picture of me. I'm smiling because I'm happy to be here, but tired because the weekend wasn't long enough, like Mindy said. But yeah, and I'm also at Somerset Community College in the Macquarie County.
Excellent. Thank you all. Okay, I'm going to close the whiteboard. I know some people are still, I think Jericho, you kept adding and adding and adding. You weren't ever happy, but or happy with your drawing. But I'm going to close the whiteboard and then give me 1 second. Move to the next steps. Thank you all. We have almost all of our college coaches on board. We have one more person who I'm hoping at Somerset Community College in Laurel County, their Laurel campus, who I'm hoping will onboard this week. And then we have one open position left at Madisonville Community College. So this is our full group. And I think we're missing one person from Bellarmine. Cam is not here. But I really appreciate you being here, and I'm so excited to have us together, and hopefully we'll all get together in person sometime soon. So I'm going to share my screen again and go through some announcements. If you have any questions as I'm going through any of these, please stop me. I will try, I'll pull up my chat. There we go. Okay, so everybody should be able to see the PowerPoint right now. Is that the case? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So announcements. So we have lots of announcements. I did send out the newsletter this morning. Likely we will do a newsletter once a month. And I think what I'm going to try to do is have it sent out in the middle of the month instead of the beginning of the month, since we meet in person at the beginning. But I wanted to get something started and something out there to kind of get at least a cycle in. And then we'll have a meeting at the beginning of every month. And then you'll have something, newsletter like in the beginning or in the middle of the month. Some of these are repeats from what I sent this morning, but are important enough for us to go over again. So America Learns, please make sure that you've completed your timesheets for the first 2 time sessions of your service. So August 1st through 15th, and then August 16th through 31st. And then make sure you've completed your monthly report using your student interaction spreadsheet. So if you have not completed your monthly report, please set aside some time today to complete that. This first time trying to use the data from your spreadsheet might take a little bit longer, but as you get used to it, your monthly report should not take more than, 10 or 15 minutes to complete if you've been keeping track throughout the month. Please don't forget that, with your student interaction spreadsheet, now you're going to switch tabs and start in September and forget that August existed, right? So you're starting over in September. On3Learns. So On3Learns is a system, like a webinar system with information about AmeriCorps. I'm going to be sending you some information about how to access this. It's a free system that our state commission allows us to have access to. And there are 3 sessions that we ask you to do, and I'm going to ask you to do this month. So by the end of September, find time to do these. One is AmeriCorps 101, one is prohibited activities, and one is the Siegel Education Award. So 2 kind of informational sessions about AmeriCorps and your service, and then the third one about the education award you'll receive at the end of service and how you can use that. We do get a report monthly about who completes it, so I will check that September's report to make sure everybody's completed it. Again, I'll send you the link to the website and then information about how to create an account and how to access these for free. Please do not enter any credit card information. You should not pay anything. There is a code that you'll put in and you won't need to pay for anything. So if you enter the code correctly, it will not ask you for payment. So don't pay for anything. If you run into any problems with that, let me know. Don't just pay for it and figure things out. Well, they're kind of expensive if you pay for it. Like I said, I'll send you information about that. And we may be using this system to throughout the year for other AmeriCorps related information. Let's see. Okay, so gear and supplies. You all should have received last week an email, and it was really messy, and I apologize for that. Like, hey, welcome to the team. I had to let all your supervisors know that, yes, you're actually like, this has already happened. Don't worry about it, but our system's set up in a funky way. And we realized, especially for our returners or anybody who applied through got their position by not applying through the regular way. So a lot of the Bellarmine people were recruited by their supervisors and not through our system, that you weren't actually in our system. So we had to get you in the system so we could track this. So in that email, you, if you scroll down to, I think it's called requisitions or something, there are instructions on how to order your gear, how to order supplies, and how to order business cards. Gear, you have up to $150 to spend in the store. There is a link in that email where you can go and order whatever you want. Make sure it's appropriate for your workspace. And you can order shirts or hats, or I don't know, if you got a backpack and you really actually wanted a laptop bag, you can order some bag or something like that. So I would do that relatively soon, because it does take a little while for them to it's not just printing, it's like embroidered. So it takes them a little bit of time to embroider it and then send it out to you. You'll enter your address, your home address, or your work address, I don't care. And it will be mailed directly to you once it's prepared. And then what you have to do is go and use the link, the requisitions form link, to report how much you've spent to us. And we'll keep track of that. The other thing is, and sometimes our colleges don't need this, but if you need supplies for the work you're doing and your college isn't offering those, you can order up to $100 in supplies. So we offer this to our college level coaches, but mostly it's our high school coaches that are needing this. So they can be supplies like pens or tape or whatever it is, like some basic office supplies. But last year we had one of our coaches who ordered a small printer that she needed at her desk. But note that any of those sorts of supplies that are not disposable belong to the college coaches program. So if you ordered a printer or something like that, or you needed a scanner or whatever, then you need to make sure that you have, you mark it as being a KCC program piece of equipment, and then you return it to me when you're done with serving. Lily, you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question. I'm on that form now because I had a question before and I was just going to wait until this meeting to ask. But so I ordered it off of like the Campus Casuals website. Is that the same as the Rice promotion gear store? It was like right after our like training at
if you use that link that that I gave you, it's the same thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all.
I think they even noted that you had already ordered yours. Somebody reported like, oh, one of the college level coaches already ordered. And I said, well, it's because at the time we thought that we were going to order using that link, and it's the same link, but we just created a different system to track how people were ordering.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So what you'll need to do in your case, since you've already ordered it, is just go in and in that requisition button, report how much you spent. If you can't remember what that is, we can look it up. Just let us know. Okay. And then business cards. You may or may not need them. Maybe your campus offers them to you and you want, yeah, David. Well, no, David's years are from us, right? Yeah. So if you want or need business cards, we will order you a small box of them. All you need to do is let me know. And I think there is a link in there to order them on the requisitions button. But also let me know that you've put that in so that I can make sure I track it on my end and make sure you get those. So David ordered his last spring, and for some reason we had it forever. And I finally got it to him at the training in August. The sooner you put those orders in, the sooner you'll get them, and I'll get it to you. We'll either mail it to you, or if we have an in-person training coming up soon, then I'll bring it to that. You do not have to order. I mean, I would highly recommend ordering gear. You do not have to order supplies or business cards if you don't need those, but it's there for you if you do. I will say that Serve Kentucky, which is our state commission, they oversee all of the state AmeriCorps programs. They are asking us to ask all our members to display the AmeriCorps logo on their person whenever you're serving. So either through a shirt or some piece of gear or a button or something like that. So you all should have received, except for Sam. And then like Lenora and Marcia, did you get yours?
I believe I got in the mail.
Okay, perfect. Lenora and Marcia may not have anything from this year, but you'll likely have stuff from last year. That you need to make sure you're wearing a button, or like I know Joseph has a lanyard with his ID card on it. He attached the button to his lanyard. So just make sure that you have the AmeriCorps logo showing, and that's one of the reasons that we give you money for AmeriCorps gear. Site visits. So I have made one site visit so far. I visited Joseph last week. I will be starting to set up site visits this fall. I'm hoping to get all my site visits done. My one per year for everybody done this fall. And then if you need more support, if you'd like me to come out for some reason, I'm more than happy to set up another site visit. So I have included a picture of Jericho on the site visit from last year. I always forget to take pictures. Jericho's the only one that I remember to take a picture of last year, so he gets to be in there. So I will work it out. I'm going to probably try to set up Bellarmine's first because we have 5 coaches there. And I'd love it if in a perfect world, I'd love to be able to meet everybody in one day. But what I'd like to do is, if we can't do that, which would be unlikely for all the people involved, is at least in 2 days, like back to back. So I'll try to set up theirs next, and then reach out to those of you who have only 1 or 2 people on each campus to figure out what works for you and your supervisor. On the site visits, I spend most of the time with you. I'd love to see your workspace. I'd love to talk to you about your service, what's going well, what challenges you have. And I'd love to say hi to your supervisor. If I haven't met them in the past, I'd love to say more than hi, like, meet them and talk a little bit, answer their questions. If they've been a supervisor in the past, we likely won't have as much to talk about, but I'd at least like to say hi to them, or offer time for them if they have questions about your service. Co-creation team. This is the last time I'm going to pitch this. I've talked about it a couple times. We're hoping to include current coaches in the design and content of trainings throughout this service year. So new and returning coaches are welcome to join the co-creation team. And the time commitment should be about 2 to 3 hours per month. So we'll see what that looks like as we start moving forward. Likely we'll start meeting every other week for an hour. And there might be a little bit of work outside of that to do to prepare for meetings. So I'm hoping to have our first meeting probably in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in, if you like training or teaching, or like coming up with ideas, or you have ideas about where we might go with training for this group, I'd love to have you as part of this. I already have 2 people who've said that they will, and we'd love, the more the merrier. So anybody who'd like to join us, please let me know. And this will be likely to help us plan for our in-person trainings, so the one in January and the one in April, and then probably planning for our spring webinars. We won't do a lot on, I won't make the co-creation team do a lot on the fall webinars, so that we can focus our fall meetings on the January training. And you'll have the opportunity to work with the high school coach co-creation team as well. They will meet with them every once in a while to kind of make sure, because we do in January and April, we will be meeting with the high school coaches too. And so we'll want to make sure that the ideas that we're all having kind of work together. So it's a good group. That side has a really good co-creation group. So I think it could be really fun. The Kentucky Hunger Dialogue. Dave is working hard on the Kentucky Hunger Dialogue, which is an initiative that the Compact runs, but I do want to invite all of you to attend. And bring students or faculty or staff if you're able to. The Hunger Dialogue is an annual kind of, we'll loosely call it a conference, an annual event that brings students, nonprofits, educators, and community members together to merge ideas and expertise about alleviating food insecurity in Kentucky, especially from a college student perspective. So we hope to have a majority college students at this event. So if you are working with students in any capacity where you might be able to bring them or encourage them to sign up, we highly recommend it. This year, we have planned some roundtables with community partners. We also have planned a college campus food pantry panel, and amongst some other events. It is We try to make it highly interactive. It is not just sitting around listening. There's a lot of active participation by the students. So if you'd like more information, go to kyhungerdialogue.org. There's registration there, and we'd love to have you guys all attend if you can. And if you'd like to attend, I think we could probably cover your transportation. So let me know if it's something you want me to look into, if you'd like to attend, and I'll figure that out. We have the Serve Kentucky Accelerator. So as I mentioned, we have 3 in-person trainings that the Compact runs every year. And there is a 4th in-person event called the Serve Kentucky Accelerator. Serve Kentucky, like I said, is our state commission, and they put on a two-day event in the fall for members, program staff, and the Serve Kentucky Commission. And they provide workshop sessions, and those sessions include things like personal professional development. So I'm actually going to be presenting on networking and maybe elevator speeches. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'll be presenting on that. There will be some sessions like that where it's like to help you learn new things or practice new things professionally. And there's content things like drug addiction in the state, or different programs that address public health issues, so that you can be more prepared to work with the students that you're working with. And then there are other sorts of presentations about AmeriCorps. I know there's going to be one on bias, I think. So they're trying to do some stuff with diversity. So that's November 14th and 15th in Owensboro, Kentucky. All expenses are paid by us. So we will pay for mileage, hotel, and meals while you're there. And we hope that you can attend. All of our trainings are technically mandatory, but we do have wiggle room if there is something that prevents you from going. But I just need you to be able to communicate that with me if that is the case for you. But please save the date, November 14th and 15th. And likely, if you need to, Owensboro can be kind of a far trek for some people. So if you need to arrive on the 13th and spend the night, we'll cover that night before. That is all the announcements that I have right now. Any questions, comments, concerns at this point? You guys are so quiet today. I shouldn't have done this after a 3-day weekend. David, did you have a question? I don't know. That means wait or one question.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
I was recording the date for that.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you got to see it yet, but in the chat, Miss Bennett left a question for you. So just wanted to raise your attention to that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sometimes when I'm presenting, when you're showing sharing the screen, you don't always see the chat. No, you don't have to actually submit that student activity log. The Excel spreadsheet is just for your own notes. The monthly report is the official report for the data for us. So.
Okay. I don't know if she's on the call anymore, but just make sure you pass that along to her.
Sorry. Jensen, I wonder if you can pass that on to her. If Jensen's there. Okay. I know Jensen was.
Sorry, could you repeat that? My Wi-Fi just like cut off.
No, that's okay. Could you just tell Lily that she doesn't have to submit the actual student activity log?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, well, David.
With regard to the accelerator, that's a normal professional development event. I guess you would count that as like KCC training in your recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go to the accelerator event, you would count all the hours there. We'll give you specific instructions on what hours to count and how to count them, but they would be counted as KCC training.
Okay. Will we be receiving any emails about that, or is it just going?
Yeah,
to
so you'll need to register as soon as registration is open on the Serve Kentucky side. I'll share that with you, and you'll register to go, and we'll keep track of that. And then once we have your registration, then we'll make a reservation for you at a hotel. We'll pay for the hotel upfront. So meals and hotels should be paid upfront by us, and then in most cases, and then mileage is reimbursement.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. I think that's it. Everybody's quiet. Everybody needs to go. I challenge everybody to get up and take a walk after this, even if it's 5 minutes, or circle your building or something. Build up that energy.
I got an event at noon. I'm already gonna have so much to do.
Excellent. Okay, well, you all know where to find me if you have any questions about anything we talked about today or in the email that was sent out. Let me know. I will send out later this week the information for the On3 Learns and the list of the 3 trainings that you'll need to do and how to access that. Yeah. And I will be in touch with you all. It was nice seeing you.
I'll have that report to you soon, by the way.